Hey, microphone. Come on back over here. Too clean. Sandpaper aplenty. We've got our panel liner from last time. Some tweezers. An X-Acto knife. A brush. All right. So last week we finished off the torso. Let's get that boy in there. Nice. Torso's feeling crispy. Right now we have a missile pod we've knocked out. As one of many armaments that TR Hazel gets to carry around. There we go. We started cleaning up the winch cannon last time. Good old fingernail check. See if we can feel anything particularly egregious. Not too shabby, not too shabby. A lot of these should be concealed once it's together. This rail, let's see. It's going to slot in like that, and it's going to mount. So we do have to sand those marks right there down in order to clean it up. Easy enough. There we go. Okay. I meant to pull it out, and I'll have it on hand for tomorrow, but I finished my Perfect Grade Unleashed RX-78 over the weekend at work. And it is funny. It's a fantastic piece of engineering, as one might expect from a Perfect Grade Unleashed, you know, an upgraded tier of Perfect Grade. But I think in some small ways it suffers from the curse that the RX-78 models always have. And that is, there are always some flaws, I think, that could have been weeded out had it not been the first. They always use, you know, the old Grandpa original Gundam as the first kit in line for a new series, which means it's always a test bed. And because that kit has a core fighter or a core booster ejection unit in the torso, it has no torso flex. And you really can't pose it up as well as I might hope. Which is kind of a bummer. These guys should be good, and that should be good. Okay. So, when I work on pieces like this, larger chunks, I generally don't worry about, oh, I want to sand this part so that I can put these two together. I just grab all the pieces in the kit for a particular section, right? You know, cut out everything for the winch cannon, and we'll do them all at once. Get them all nice and clean. This part's curved, so I need something curved to go with it. Get them all nice and clean at once so that I can enjoy snapping it all together in one fell swoop. I'm going to hit this from two sides here. I started a Discord server some time ago while playing a what turned out to be a third-party Gundam game. on iPhone. It was fun, but as with all third-party IP infringing titles, it eventually vanished. But you throw together a group, a guild, a clan, whatever it's called in each respective game. We made a Discord service we can keep in touch for group content, and I still talk with most of those guys every once in a while. Whenever something new comes out and we all get excited about it. And I mentioned that I'd started a new server for this channel, and people were more than welcome to migrate over. And one of the guys said, yeah, I'll stop in as soon as I have the chance to. I'm busy right now. I've always wanted to know how to get my models as clean as yours. And he was the second one to have mentioned that. Somebody I work with had also talked about, we used to do this as kids, and I thought, there's no way a model can look the way it does on the box, but looking at what you've done here, it looks, I won't say perfect, right, but, really, really, really good. And I think it's all a matter of just the time you put into it, right? Find a kit or find some kits that you're really invested in, that you really want to spice up, and use those as motivators to expand your skill set. Sit down, sand it up, make it a project of love. I think it feels good to make something you're exceptionally proud of. And even if you don't want to go balls to the wall, you don't have to go crazy with it. You don't have to do an excessive amount of sanding or cleaning up or this or that. But just put in a little more effort on your day-to-day builds, and I think it really, I think it happens quickly when you're trying to improve, as long as you're consistent about it. And not for nothing, but these kits aren't exactly cheap in the grand scheme once you start jumping beyond high-grade or SD scale kits. So get every dollar out of it that you can. Preserve that bang for your buck. I'm never a fan of long pieces like this because they stand out, right? This is a, this is a hand's length, right? If you aren't careful when you're sanding it down, if I'm not, observant of how much I've done in one section, and you go to assemble it, it's very possible that your attempts to clean it up may have eaten away farther than you expected into the plastic. And that kind of long distance work can make a deformity really stand out, which is why I'm a huge fan of sanding sticks over just sandpaper or files. They really help you hold that edge over a longer distance and keep it nice and uniform. I can still feel a little bit on there. Gotta be careful where you hold these things too, because, again, fragile parts, nice and thin, you can see it's got a whole bunch of bend and flex to it. I will always hold as closely to the area that I'm sanding as I can. Make sure that you're providing enough counter pressure, balance it out from as close to the exact opposite side as you can to avoid bending or breaking something. Like when I have to go farther up on this piece to keep it uniform, I'll try to brace it with a second finger as needed. Someone in my free company on Final Fantasy XIV, I suckered them into buying a model, their first one, and they scooped up the Soundwave kit from the Transformers line. And I'm a huge fan of those designs. I didn't know what to expect. I haven't built one. I'm not necessarily as into Transformers now as I was when I was a wee lad. But they've got some good surface detail. And they seem really loyal to the original Transformers designs, which rocks, right? Ooh, wild, okay. Also, a saw, dude. There we go. My speaker's blocking out part of my second monitor because I didn't arrange it properly after getting it all set up. That was sketchy. Let's not do that again. I've wanted for some time now for Final Fantasy to put some kits out of their own, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. There are a whole bunch of lines that I'd like to see model kits for that don't exist. So this is one of those things. This is gonna hold the turret, or not the turret, the vents. It's gonna sit up top. Looks like just like this. And they'll slot in there. This is positioned like that. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to sand off some of the details. Because it looks like it's covered. If it fits into here. Okay, yeah, this should be fine. It's one of those small things. But when you really get into cleaning up a piece, right? You can see in the middle of this side here, right there, there's a flash line, which stands out. It's not a, a height difference, it's just... That's the mold line. That's where the plastic injection happened, right? Let's see if we can catch that light again on the other side. A little bit there. There we go. I'm not a huge fan of that. Again, because when you go to paint, it pops. However, this is such an out of the way detail, I'm not sure it'll matter. But I don't know. It feels wrong if I don't clean it up, Like I'm skimping on part of my meal. I paid for this, I'm gonna sand it. Hey Seth, is the music audible at all on your side? I've been having some trouble getting it to come in properly. Okay, cool. Is it at a good level? Cool, okay. Thanks, man. I'm really excited to get into some more extremes and savages on Final Fantasy XIV. It was a lot of fun. I haven't had the time to commit to doing modern content or progression rating of any sort since my WoW days. Man, that was close to a decade ago now. Haven't been getting enough sleep lately because of how extended this shift was. So my hands, oh boy, are cramping up readily. You're good, but also, what? Oh, I love water. Water is supreme. What is my camera doing over here? What happened? Come on, buddy, stand up properly. There we go. Toss that over there, that's good. Nice. Just ordered a bunch of batteries to light that Perfect Grid Unleashed kit and a couple others I have. I'm very excited. You can see in the background, I like things lit up. Really makes it pop and it draws the eye. I need to practice soldering again. It's been so long since I've done any. And I was never particularly good in the first place, so I need to figure out how to get my my soldering a little cleaner. Because generally I'm doing it on tiny LEDs that I want to fit into compact space in the first place. So if I goof it, my soldering and my welding is too thick, I'm losing space or creating sections that I can't keep secure properly. But thanks to the power of YouTube, you can kind of learn how to do anything. Gotta stretch my hands a little more often. I didn't check for a third nub mark on here. There's generally at least 3. Nice. I need to fish out my magnifying headpiece. It's really helpful when scribing in particular, but there are some marks that you think you've got, you can't quite feel them because of where they're positioned, and having that telescoping vision is nice. The downside is it kind of makes you look like a doofus. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, hand cramps are the worst. I'm getting them right along the outside of the palm here, and doesn't feel great. I wonder, is my headset... Oh wow, my Wave 3 is picking up the music from my headset. That's really funny. There's gotta be a slightly better way to tune this. I'll have to do some research later. It's smart, Seth. I guess it depends on where your cramps are coming from for sure, but where your wrist joint is on the outside, yeah. Gotcha, okay. I won't stress it over much for now. It's funny to think about what I've built and what I want to build. And then to think about, I think, some of the people that I've met and some of the work that I've seen them create. And I realize that I don't know that I'll ever be at the level that they're at. even though I think I really want to, you know, kind of make leaps and bounds, but there's an inherent level of, you know, creativity or a certain viewpoint that doesn't come inherently to most people, and it's one of those things that's not necessarily intentionally handed down, but is instead inherited by, you know, things that you experience and you see, right? I never would have considered painting one of my models a certain way without having seen how another guy approached his color work. And, you know, I never would have considered a diorama until I saw this or that, right? And I don't think it's one of those, I want to improve, so I'm going to go out of my way to do so things. I think I'm kind of in a state now where I need to work on a couple small things like practicing applying water slides and decals, because that's generally something I avoid. I'm not a huge fan. But aside from that, I just need to start going out to competitions or conventions again and seeing that exposure, you know? I need to experience more and find a new sort of motivation. Models that I would want from Final Fantasy. I mean, the G Warrior is a given, right? The G Warrior, the G Weapon. Give me one of those. I would take the Ruby weapons. What else? You know, the Magitech armors, the Reavers, a lot of the things from the Garlean Empire. A lot of the mounts in general. I don't know, I think they have a market that they can tap into, but that's not Square's thing, right? They're not going to be inclined to make models when they can just sell figures. One mark there. 2 marks there. Okay, cool. But no, I do frequently fantasize about the day that we get a G weapon model kit. Okay, so that is a lip there. And there. And there. And I don't want them, so we're going to sand them down. And unfortunately, because it is a slightly different elevation, this is going to take more sanding, slightly longer process, a little more pressure. But with the power of perseverance and enough sanding tools, I cannot be stopped. Nice and steady, systematic. No reason to rush. I've got good music. Good vibes. Thinking about multicast streaming to Twitch as well. I'm not sure how visible YouTube is. That nub is tucking itself away. It really doesn't want to come out, so we're going to hit it at a slightly different angle. Nice. We're going to use that sanding stick again because we want to get these corners not quite square, so we're going to see if we can keep them beveled like that, but also remove those flash lines. Hot damn. Nice, okay. That fixes that side. I still need to hit this side. I've been dreaming about going back to Japan, and it was only a few months ago. There's so much I still want to do and see and buy out there. Their selection of models is obscene. Now, that said, you know, I can get most of what I want on P-Bandai or third party if I have to. But, just seeing it up on the shelves, right? Not just Gundam, but so many other things that I'd never heard of. It's nice. It's pretty cool. Score. Good, good, good. It is, in fact, hotter than sin outside. Ooh, that would be cool, actually. Some Final Fantasy X kits, like some of the Sin Spawn. I think that would be really, really fun. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I have damn near everything that I want. There are some things that you can't get either in Japan or online right now because availability and production runs, you know. But yeah, walking into a store and just seeing rows and rows, it's nice. What part are you, and how much work do I have to do? This is gonna go like that. Other side is gonna attach from there. Those two combined. Wow, I have no idea. Okay. Well, we'll clean it up anyway. I need to fish out my airbrush and get it set back up. But that is a lot of work. Heck, I say get it set back up. I gotta make sure my compressor still works. That thing's been sitting inert for 4 years now, and some change. Have you ever worked on a model kit, Seth? Gotcha. Not quite your cup of tea. I'll find one you're interested in. I'll drag you into it somehow. I wonder if they make any Warframe models. I feel like that's a tappable market as well. Let's grab a paper towel real fast. Try and de-dust. There we go. Oh, splashed a little bit there. Can be helpful if you plan on grading up your sanding and going from something more coarse to more fine to wipe off your pieces or rinse them off either with water or soap and water, because if you leave a lot of that pre-existing powder, that dust left on there, it can interfere with your attempts to grade it up finer. Look at that bad boy right there. I was contemplating whether or not I needed to cut it back down because it kind of feels like it sticks out, but it's just the slope of it. You can see it just chilling there. Fingernail catches lightly. I'm gonna go nice and gentle. This one's just gonna be a lot of repetition. Maintain that curve. Back and forth, up and down. Nice. Nothing I need to do there. Some filler will handle the rest of it. If you want to get into airbrushing, one of the most important things you can do for yourself is 1, sand. Clean up those marks so you don't have to worry about them popping out when you apply paint. And 2, primer. Primer will help bite into the plastic a little better and make sure that your paint doesn't freely rub or chip off. And not only that, but if you get some self-leveling primer, that's not a nub mark, is it? That's part of the model. Okay. Some self-leveling primer can help hide any possible sanding marks. Or if you have very, very small imperfections that are a little deeper into the plastic because, you know, there's a little bit of stress and tension when you cut it out, they'll fill that up and level it back out again. Stuff's great. So good. Can't feel it with my finger. Can I feel it with my nail? I can, but only at certain angles. Where's it at? Okay, I can see it. I don't need this guy because it's also up on the slope because that nub mark kind of reaches up and over the edge. Balance it out just a little bit here. Nice, okay. 1 gun, 2 gun, 3. Nice. What are you for? That slots into that. Sticks out nowhere. Cool. This does not need to be sanded. This piece. There it is. That's going to slot in like that. It's going to be part of the joint. It'll be a little visible. So we'll do a little cleaning. What a strange part. While I was cleaning up my place recently and trying to decide what I wanted to work on in what order, I rediscovered a collection of Blu-rays, Gundam shows and movies that I've acquired over the last few years. One of them is 0080 War in the Pocket, and I was just reminded that I've never watched it, so I need to give that one a watch, and I think I'm going to do that tonight. It's exciting to rediscover things I've hidden from myself on accident. Very nice. Now you get to suffer in the main story quest queue instead. Lucky you. These shouldn't be visible anywhere when they're slotted in. That's going to go in right there. This side will face out. rad. No marks over here. And trials, you're right. I don't... Oh, I see your similarities. Okay. True, true, true. And high level Q. Sand it down. Not a lot of surface area, so it's easy to eat through it. And it's up on a lip, which means it's even easier to eat through it, which is both a good thing and a bad thing. Nice. Oh, absolutely understandable. I'm thankful I don't have anything left in the under 50 hell anymore. I don't know if it helps at all. I can show you my setup, but I've just got them in order from Tenchi and Jin. And all I really need to remember is if it's 2, then 1, 2 makes lightning. 2, 1 makes fire, or 3, 1. If it's 3, then ending on 1 makes hide. Ending on 2 makes doton, and ending on 3 is foolish. Yep, you really don't need names. It's just numbers. Yep. 2, 1, or 3, 1 is fire. 1, 2, or 3, 2 is lightning. It's just what you end on and how many buttons you're pushing total. Really, really simplifies it. That's good there. We already got that part, but we forgot this guy right there. There we go. Not quite. And there we go. Last part. Oh, there's a whole bunch of very, very small faces. Very, very, very slight slopes. This can be tricky. I still need to create a diorama for a model I've had in mind for a while now. It's the Phillips Custom GM Dominance. I have a warehouse scene I want to set up because those turrets on that model kit are kind of neat, but they need a little work to make them feel less toy-y and more like a weapon. So once I figure out how I want to do that, we'll get started. And maybe that'll be one of the dioramas I flesh out on stream. Alright, now for the fun part. Let's grade this all back up to good-looking plastic. Nice and clean. Support it from the underside because we're applying a little more pressure. And sometimes as you're grading it back up, you'll notice something you missed. And I can't tell if I've missed this or if it's just... Yeah, there's a very, very slight mark. Oh, Alexander would be so cool to have a model kit of. I would love that. Man, now I'm thinking about other raid bosses. Cruise Chaser. That would be fun. Give me a Crystal Tower model. Actually, one for Cloud of Darkness could be really cool too. It's a neat design. X-Death, things like that. Hey DC, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. currently just chatting about other models from other IPs that I'd like to see brought into existence. Omega, yes. I mean, they've got Omega figures and statues. I don't see them making a model of them. But I guess it depends on which iteration of Omega we're talking about, right? If we're talking Omega, then absolutely. That would be a fun little thing to build. Honestly, I just really want like a high quality alpha figure to set up on my desk. Ooh, no sunscreen, huh? That's why I pay somebody else to do mine. I'm averse to the sun because I'm lazy. I'm actually just lazy, as it turns out. Where do those appear, Seth? If you can recall at all. I'd like to see that. Yeah. When did that happen? That doesn't track. Yeah, I was lying. Yeah, I need to catch up on this week and last week's 10-minute power hours. I've been slacking lately, and I have so many uncut versions to go through. Sometimes after doing some sanding, I've got some marks that won't fade out properly, so I'll take some of my duller 800 grit sanding sponges and just kind of go over them. See if I can level it out just a little bit more. Have you ever worked on a model kit, DC? Okay, yeah, I kind of figured it would be Dreamscape. That makes sense. Totally fair. I know they're not many people's, you know, cup of tea. It brings me a certain level of zen, and Gundam was my favorite IP as a child. Aside from Mega Man. Final Fantasy came later in life. But being able to bring to life, you know, one of my favorite shows has been really cool. Guys that are into car models are built differently. I think cars can be really tough to do. At some point I want to do one, and I want to do it an absolute disservice, you know? Do a hot rod up in Gundam colors. But I don't know that I could ever stand to do a car as a car for the sake of being a car. Alright. Heck yeah. You going outside, Seth? Nice. Yeah, punch in the earbuds. 5 out 2 quiet lo-fi. And nonsense ramblings. Scream of consciousness word vomit about giant robots in the Game Grumps. I need to go through some of those older compilations and really just vibe out tonight, I think. Clean these up nicely. I'm actually happy that this comes early on in this model kit because I'm not a huge fan of knocking out weapon systems once the rest of the model has been put together. Scream of consciousness. Hey man, what's going on in your brain today? Ah! But yeah, knocking out the weapons after I've done the whole body sometimes just doesn't appeal. And I won't say more often than not, but more often than I should, I just leave a model unweaponized and without its armaments because I'm a bum. Like, I know what I'm about, dang it. Oh, I think I just realized I'm starving. As soon as we're done here today, I'm going to go absolutely destroy a sandwich. Yeah, that's gotta be nice. It's currently something like 85, feels like 104 outside right now because the humidity is oppressive, and it's only going up right now. Is that... It looks like it's got a texture to it, like it's not done yet, but I can't feel it. No, it's there, but it's so slight. Let's hit it one more time. Yep, yeah. Mowing your lawn in deep humidity is a certain sort of hell. You have my sympathies. I might, at some point, once we've hit a good stopping point on this kit, whether it's because it's finished or because I've just got another itch enough, I might pull out that D&D Lego set I have sitting in my closet that I've been stalling on, and throw that together one stream. I think that could be a lot of fun. You know what? I think I could do something a little different with this side camera here. Until I have the base to set up on the side, on this guy over here, let's take this. Let's go like this. Angle that down a little bit like that. Around town. Neat. Slightly different perspective. I might need to elevate this guy a little more there. Yeah, I'll trade you, Seth. Bring my mic a little farther up there. I could do with a little less humidity for a bit. Well, now you're being selfish. I deserve to live somewhere else besides where I live too, dang it. 100% DC. I will say, I think a good winter is my favorite, but the winters out where I'm at right now are too harsh. A few years back, I experienced my very first, oh no, I'm in actual physical danger sort of weather event. And it was jarring because I stepped outside and I had a jacket on, but not my biggest jacket on, because I didn't, you know, I'm not a jacket guy. I don't normally keep heavy clothing around. But as soon as that wind hit my arms and my face, my brain went, you have to keep moving. If you stop, we're going to die. And that was a super interesting sensation. So, I'll take slightly milder winters over any other season, but if I have to take anything while I'm out here, then yeah, give me fall. Dang it, where is... Here we go. This has some of those scoring marks I was talking about before. I need to kind of round them out. It was too aggressive and not enough Wow, words are tough today. I was too aggressive with the back and forth, and I didn't do enough left to rights while clearing this thing up. I can still fairly clearly see the nub marks on this guy, but they don't have any substance to them, which is great. So once they're primed, it'll be invisible. Once it's mid-May, it's basically humidity game over. Yeah, understandable. Our winters last a long time out here, so the problem is, yeah, we end up with that same problem, right? Where, yeah, June hits, and for 3 or 4 months, it's brutal humidity, and then winter starts, and we have 6 months of winter. Wow, yeah, I really do miss fall. That's actually crazy. Okay, so you guys don't get snowed out too often in prison. That's good. I think one of the things that makes keeping this as a hobby even easier is that the seasons are pretty extreme in both directions. I don't want to melt to death, and I don't want to freeze. So I can hide inside using the weather as justification and catch up on my backlog. Which, I mean, my god, it's overdue. Yeah, I mean, that tracks, Seth. Which makes me realize, I really came there at the perfect time when I did. It was November, but it was a mild November. For those kicking it, Seth is the reason I'm back in this hobby right now. So I'm going to go ahead and send my bill to you, and you just pay back whenever you can, okay? Oh yeah, get a bunch of moisture soaked into the ground? I mean, sun comes back out, that humidity's going to drown you, right? Nice. I need some fresh 5000 grit. I know I've got a pad sitting out. There we go. No, you don't think so? Okay. Well, I'll keep paying for them then, but just keep that in mind. I don't know if you've seen my model room recently. It is a problem. But it's nice having choices. I don't have enough time to work on a submission that I could happily present for this year's Gundam Builder World Cup. But now that I'm really chugging along, I think I'm going to start here in a couple months. Once I've got my airbrushing and my soldering down again. And just start working on a long-term project, get it ready for next year. Put together something real fun. There we go. That's right, this guy will be fine. This guy we just did. Hit the edges of this one and that one, and we're good to go, and the winch cannon should be done. And that is exciting. It's always nice finishing up a part that you're not particularly excited to work on. Okay. Let's shift some stuff here. Let's do this. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I didn't remember sanding this side, so let's clean this up real fast. We got that one. Good. Okay. Bam. Am I missing a piece? Surely not. C221. Nope, I've cut it out, which means it is hiding somewhere among us right now. And there's a very real non-zero chance that it is floating loose in the box. Oh, some of the battleship models out there are so dang cool. What has happened here? Hey, there it is. It's tucked underneath our manual, which means this didn't get cleaned up. Yeah, if you can find it, I'd love to see a picture of the prism. It's always cool to see what kind of models people are hiding. Sounds perfect, man. Pinned in that Arts and Hobbies Discord channel is a link to my server if you want to share it in there. Don't feel inclined to. If you want to just drop it in Arts and Hobbies, that totally works out too. Nice. Heck yeah. There are some ship models that I've considered getting, mainly because they're not quite ship models. It's from Space Battleship Yamato, 2099. I've never seen the shows, or movies, but the concept is rad. And I think it's a concept that is partially emulated in Gurren Lagann with giant space battleships. I love that. So, at some point I'll watch the show and I'll get a model and I'll do it kind of all at once. But, the biggest deterrent for me is that battleship models generally require a lot of gluing and not just snapping together. I don't like gluing stuff. Okay. This guy's gonna face like this. Slot that in there. Yeah, I was gonna say Yamato, Macross. Some of the first... Is Macross a space opera? I only know a bit about it. I know it's on Disney Plus right now, so I guess I could just watch it and find out, huh? Where did that fall down to? Flashlight! There we go. Slap these halves together. Nice. Be a little more thorough in cleaning this thing back up. Elite Dangerous models. Yeah, Elite Dangerous, some of the ships there, for sure. Absolutely. I'll have to hit up Gene, see if he's still around. I think I've still got him out on some stuff. See if he'll teach me about Yamato. C224, isn't that still on this runner? Sure is. I cut all these parts out last week while I was kind of in a rush, thinking I could finish this earlier than I would have actually been able to. So it looks like I forgot some parts. Nice and gentle. Clean that up there. Yep, plenty of resistance. Let's clean that up there. Nice. 800 grit sanding stick again. Back and forth. Nice. I think, yeah, just in general, right? Space vehicles, spaceships, giant robots, things like that, they all lend themselves so well to being made into models because they feel so cool to build. And it's a thing that could never be in any other format, you know? So I can go out and I can see a car any day of the week. I can go to a military museum and see tanks, right? But nobody's hiding jet and robots as far as I'm aware of, so I'll build my own. Oh, I mean, it's not bragging. Enjoy your weather, brother. Enjoy it enough for the both of us, even. Use that slightly damp paper towel still, wipe off my leg. Some of this plastic dust can be kind of irritating if it gets on your skin. Just keep it out of your face. Fingernail check again, because it looks like there's something left, but there isn't. Perfect. Back to our instructions. Oriented like so. This will slot in here first. This guy will come in from the other side. Nice. From there we have this boy. Son of a gun. There it is. Okay. We're going to slot that in right there. Get it nice and snug, a little bit more pressure. Rad. Hey, Kurogiri. I'm currently working on... I moved the screen away. Let me punch it into chat for you, so you can look it up if you're interested. Hey, Ava. That should be the guy. Nice. Get back up there, keyboard. You're taking up too much retail. Retail? Realty. Space. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the master grades. I'm not generally a fan of high grades unless there's something really, really cool about it. They just don't do it for me. There's not enough detail, not enough surface area to play with. We're gonna apply one of these stickers here. Looks like the lens for the camera for this rifle. Sorry, for this cannon, even. There we go. And I'm putting them all on for fun now, but all of these will come back off once it's time to paint. And they come off pretty easily, too, so I don't have to stress it. Nice. So that'll go there. And then it'll go right here. Okay. C22 gray is going to be slotted into these three guys. Let's punch them together. We've got this one here, that one there. No direction markers to pay attention to, so I'm not going to stress it. And this guy here, oriented, looks like so. Oh, okay. Nice little joint. I think a lot of people that are interested in getting into the hobby, you know, if the price itself isn't prohibitive, they get worried about starting with or working on master grades because they feel like, oh, it's called a master grade, right? It's a bigger model, it's got more parts, it's going to be harder. I think generally master grades are actually easier to work on because the parts are bigger, they're easier to handle, everything's easier to see. And maybe that's different when you're younger, right? And you're a wee lad or lass. You're tiny, so everything's huge when you're young. So high grade feels like a perfect grade. Let's punch these vents on there. Let's take this guy. This is currently oriented like so. Yeah, 100%, right? So the, I guess I don't bring up the RE100 scale often because of how infrequently utilized it is. But the RE100s and the full mechanics are both large and simple because they have less inner frame machinations for you to worry about. I think they can be a lot of cool. It really isn't popular for sure, but it was made, I mean, for those that aren't aware, as a way for Bandai to justify producing model kits that people had demanded, but at a cheaper price point and a larger scale. Because otherwise, you know, trying to create a run of a model kit that nobody was really going to buy in 1/100th scale, it's tough, right? That's just a poor business model. So I think when we get RE100s, I really try to go out of my way to appreciate them and hype them up to people that might be interested in them because, yeah, it is just a bigger high grade. But it's a really, really cool concept, and I like how they do it. Let me brush up this side just a little bit more because I don't like the way it's looking right now. Who's messaging me on Discord while I'm busy? What kind of fiend? There we go. Let's take a quick peek. Ooh, it's from Prism. Nice. Heck yeah, I'll take a better look at that once I'm done here. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Thanks, bud. All right. There we go. This guy, we're gonna slot these together here. Oh, that's an interesting way to fit together. I don't think I love that, but it should be fine. I don't think there are very many RE100s in existence, now that you got me thinking about it, Ava. Not a ton of them out there. I'm gonna get the orientation right on these guys here. Nice. Okay. Up and in. Get those fitted together nicely. Okay, okay. And then our last couple parts. I'm gonna take this, punch that in there. Ooh, I like that. Okay, that's really cool. However, I've just fitted them together and I realized this is gonna be visible, so I do need to clean it up a little bit. What do I want to do for dinner? Probably dice up some chicken and throw it in a salad, right? That sounds refreshing. I gotta replenish myself after those extreme trials earlier. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've only been out to Virginia once, and that was actually to visit Seth. So I didn't have enough time to really tour the area. I was only out there for Thanksgiving, for a few days total. But I may need to go out there again soon, so we can actually do some touring. Hey! I mean, yeah, we popped over to DC, but there's a lot more that we can do still. Even our DC trip was pretty hurried in the grand scheme, and relatively stunted by my stomach's unwillingness to play ball. I don't even remember getting stuck in traffic as badly as you mentioned, and I believe it happened, but I probably just repressed the whole thing. Nice. Punch that in there. And then this guy right here will go... Well, first off, we need to clean this up too. Ooh, I kind of want to play some Donkey Kong Country now. This music's giving me Super NES vibes. Hey, nice. A little bit of a concert tour. I can appreciate that. That looks better. Okay. Now this slides up like that. Oh no, it's a ratcheting system. Oh, come on, buddy. Not a fan of that. I do vaguely remember getting cut off. I just wanted to buy my models, man. That was some real nonsense. Yes! Okay. Nope, I remember now. That specifically. Whole bunch of loose sanding dust on the paper. Let's clean that up. Cool. Okay, so winch cannon complete. We'll see it in place once we get the rest of the model put together, because I have no idea where this is going to fit on here right now since we don't have a backpack yet. We'll set that up there with the missile pods. I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me. It says the head comes next. I saved the head for last, because that's where all the personality and the heart is. Let's fish out some runners here. I'm going to mute my mic for just a moment while I do this, because it gets noisy. And I don't have a runner organizer like one of our free company members had mentioned, because I've not found a style that I like enough to buy. So give me 20 seconds here. Nice. Okay. Okay. So we get our torso, we've got the missile cannon, we've got the winch cannon. We're going to slap together some arms now. And I will say, right away, the reason I'm in love with this kit, and I'm so excited to build this, is these leg parts here. That's some chunky armor. I love big armor. It's one of my favorite things in existence. Yeah, so like I mentioned, like you've kind of reinforced, right? If a head looks good, if a helmet looks good, the model or the kit or the whatever it is looks good. If it looks great, it looks incredible. And if it looks bad, it looks terrible. Because, you know, a head is one of the first things your eyes are drawn to, right? That's where the personality exists. That's where the style points come from. So we're doing doubles of most of what I'm about to do, which is something I don't love because it feels tedious after a point. But it's a necessary evil, so we're going to cut these out twice over, and we're going to make it through it. E20 and E21. We're going to go at these in chunks because otherwise this can quickly cascade out of control. Yeah, that tracks, Ava. I was thinking, I haven't seen one since then, and I think the last one that came out was probably the Calamity Gundam, which, I mean, I still consider scooping it up regularly, but it's not a model I love enough to paint, and I don't love the colors that are inherently present on the Calamity Gundam. I do, however, love like everything else about it. It's a really cool design. Come on, give it up. There we go. K17, K18, K2. Oh, okay, let's take a step back here. We're gonna build just these first. 2 PC-12s, 2 PC-11s. I don't think people really appreciate just how infrequently new master grades and new perfect grades are coming out lately. There are tiny little gnats or flies that have been floating around my house the last day or two. I had maintenance come over to fix a drain, and they left a window open to aerate some of the solvents they were using, and a bunch of these guys came through the screen door, and I am less than happy about it. Totally forgot what I was just talking about. New perfect grades, new master grades. They really don't make them in any capacity like they used to. I don't think we've had a new perfect grade since the Perfect Grade Unleashed came out 3 years ago. Yeah. Which sucks, because I love perfect grades. So much detail, so much to play with. I7 and I16. This is that hard brittle plastic for parts that intend to be moved frequently. Cut that out. And then once more. Snip. Snip. Yes. The Perfect Grade Unleashed New, the second in the PGU line, and the very, very, very first time we're getting an actual model kit of the new Gundam in 1/60th scale. And I'm so impossibly, disgustingly excited. I cannot put it into words. If you guys are around tomorrow, you know, I'll pull it up and I'll kind of go over what I'm so pumped about for it. Because they put up a really cool cinematic, but I don't currently have my stream set up for casting to a browser and streaming that without issues. So I need to figure that out overnight. I already have my PGU new pre-ordered, and my heart is excited and my wallet is not. Because that was a $650 investment. And remembering that I've spent that amount of money on that model has me sad. Hey, look at that. The sadness is gone. Now I'm excited again. That is going to be an absolute centerpiece in my displays. Yeah, no joke. Warhammer armies are prohibitive. I actually have an unbuilt Tau army that I want to get into, right? But again, I don't love gluing stuff together. And I get too caught up in trying to detail things instead of actually building it so I can learn the game to play it. But part of the reason it sits unbuilt is because I feel strange about the amount of money I've spent on it. Which is weird considering I have a model room full of GunPla. Like, I think I have a Riptide somewhere in my collection, and it's like $180. Now, granted, for as much as there is to detail and play with on that thing, that's pretty cool. 100%. Kit bashing is so much fun. Slapping together things that you've got is delightful. Are you fucking kidding me, Seth? Warhammer is 12% of Britain's GDP? Tell me you're actually joking. That's... Yes, it's funny, but... Like, oh god. Okay, hey, wait a second. Where is Lego made? Is it, like, Sweden or Norway? Someone confirm it for me real fast. And then, out of curiosity, confirm what portion of that country's GDP is Lego. Germany. Really? Germany? Man, I am geographically challenged. Not beating the dumb American allegations. That's so funny, Seth. Oh no. Britain funding future wars with Warhammer armies. When polled if Americans would want to go to war with Britain, Warhammer players vehemently vote no. Their wound rolls are too good. We don't stand a chance. Ooh, it's Danish. Okay. You know what? I get where the mix-up happened, though, right? It's not too dissimilar. This plastic is hard and brittle, and I don't love it. But it's easier to sand because of that. Softer plastic tears more than it sands. Harder plastic is easy to get smooth sand jobs on. That can't be the phrase. Sand job. Oh man, I'm tired. I'm tearing up. That got me. Yeah, don't rat me out, Seth. Innocent mistake. A mistake. Mistake. Yo, I could go for some steak right now. 7:26. I gotta see when the Texas Roadhouse near me closes. Oh yeah, I'm craving meat. Bet, DC, I got you covered. I will box up some of those rolls and some of that butter and just ship it to you. Actually, probably get there faster if I just drove it to you. That seems mean and hurtful, Seth. It's also funny, but according to other cultures, Americans sound like we're basically scatting all the time. Sabba de bagwaga de bwata de hot dog. And if that's not accurate, I don't know what is. Cool. That's the one I got already, so those two will go over here. When I paint this kit, inevitably, this is going to be, oh, so much masking. The scale of some of these models, the part density, right? Because this is it's a really cool custom variant. It's got a lot of sweet options, and it's got all these cool tools to work with. That also means the kit is heavier or more dense, and it needs, unfortunately, more dense parts to support it, which means you lose detail that you could otherwise have. A lot of things that could be multiple parts for better color separation or panel depth are instead one piece like this. Which, I mean, it's going to look good in the end, right? Even unpainted, but I do like my heavy armor and still detailed kits, like the full arm double Zeta master grade, which I also need to finish. 95% done. What a first world problem. I've made it into a nice school. Unfortunately, I'm going to be around people that speak Danish? I'm the Scab Man. Scabba deeba de baba de baba daba yaba daba da. Scabba daba daba. Sup Sud, sup Echo. We have so many folks hanging out tonight. I love this. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more locked I am. Oh, I'm actually drooling all over myself. I'm locked in on Texas Roadhouse for dinner. 100%. Reward myself for a good job building toy robots. I deserve it. I'm a good boy. You are Sud, huh? Welcome to the Spud Hut. Damn, okay, now I'm really locking in my evening. I'm thinking either Shrek 1, while I eat some Texas Roadhouse, or the SpongeBob movie. Feels like a night for nostalgia. I'm here to vibe. These parts are coming out really, really well, and I'm excited. It's one of those things, right? It's easy to complain about, oh, I wish these were more separated, but, you know, when it's all one piece, it makes it really easy to clean up nicely. Oh, you know what? The Goofy movie also sounds good. Hey, Spud, you want to watch the Goofy movie after I finish up this stream? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah? So Mickey Mouse and his lawyer having a conversation one day. Conversation goes on for like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. And as it comes to a close, lawyer turns to Mickey and says, look, Mr. Mouse, I understand that you're having a tough time in your relationship, but you need to understand that not every marriage is a happy one from start to finish. Not every relationship is successful all the way through. I'm afraid you can't just divorce your wife on the grounds that she's crazy. Mickey turns to his lawyer and says, oh, I didn't say she was crazy. Oh, I said she was fucking goofy. And that's one of the funniest jokes I've got in my pocket, and it has been absolutely demolishing me for like 15 years now. Hell yeah, Goofy movie after this for sure then. I'm pumped. I can appreciate that, Seth. Unfortunately, I'm in my house, and my dehumidifier built into my AC is not keeping up, and I feel damp. Now, it's either the humidity or how excited I am to finish building this model. One of the two. Yeah, I'll actually have to share that section of that VOD with a couple of my friends, Prism, because 100% it had me fully rolling. I'll do that after we finish up tonight. It's been rehearsed more than once, Seth. If it wasn't obvious. Obvious. Where is it? There it is. I'm not a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts as a whole because of how convoluted the plot is. But if there's anything that makes me appreciate it in any capacity, it is Barry Kramer's summaries of the Kingdom Hearts games. That man is pretty funny. And if you've never seen it, Prism, I fully recommend looking up Barry Kramer, Kingdom Hearts, and just making your way through his videos chronologically. It's a good way to kill like 2 hours if you're looking for more than a couple laughs, especially if you're already familiar with the series. All right, let's start cleaning up these pieces now. $71 gigabytes for Kingdom Hearts? That feels wrong. I'm not saying it is, but that feels like not okay. I'm actually sanding pieces right now that are not visible, I'm realizing. That'll punch in over there. That'll be visible there and nowhere else. Oh, what a fool I am. Well, can't stop now. Gotta scratch that itch. Also, please don't feel obliged to, folks. After I go offline, these are just uploaded as, VODs. I'm not editing them, not right now. I don't have that time. But if you can punch a like onto them, just to drag a few more eyes our way so we have more folks to share the joy with, that would be awesome. And I would be very appreciative. These will never be, as far as I plan right now, monetized. but I'd love to see the community grow a little more. And having people come in and ask questions and, you know, see how it all goes, I think is the best way to encourage a community like this to expand. So I always try to drag more people into the hobby when I can afford to. It's one of my favorite things, sharing that freedom of expression. GunPla's freedom is pretty common in the community because, like Ava mentioned before, right? Kit bashing, painting things how you want to, expressing what you want in a model or a kit, however you want. Nobody's gonna tell you no. None of it's real in the first place. Oh, that's actually a World War II Sherman tank, and it's actually based off of these specifications. And this variation right here is... Nah, man, shut up. It's a giant robot. It doesn't exist. I can do whatever I want with it. Fight me about it. We're gonna punch in these PC parts, or polycap parts. Just nice soft plastic, good for holding joints. And I say good for holding joints, but it's actually not good. And I'm glad they've started to phase PC out, because over time it softens up and it loosens up, and then you can't hold the pose anymore unless you use some sort of thickener or glue to stiffen it up again. But it's not permanent. It is a stopgap measure at best. Boom. Boom. Man, this kit is going to have a lot of these PC parts. Get in there. There we go. Is Ava still lurking here? We got to figure out what we're running next for a trial or a savage. If we can turn study into a whole free company of powerhouse sprouts and raiding machines, that'd be fun. Mean. Is it mean? Mini mine? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo? I was hesitant to say it while we were on the Discord call earlier because I had no idea what it actually was. I read it as mine. Mine. Okay. Wow. Actually, one of the ones I didn't try to pronounce. Damn it. I can fully appreciate getting a name right, because I've got a bit of an odd one myself. But in the grand scheme, as long as people get close, right? I'm not worried about it. Oh no, you're good, DC. Plenty understandable, don't stress it. Nice. So, got those finished up there. Now we're gonna build parts of the right arm. I have the D runner in my hands, and I don't need anything off of it yet. I1, nothing yet. I2, same thing. Polycaps, PC13. No, I gotcha. I'm both glad and sad that you can't use accented letters in 14. Because I don't want to have to copy and paste or use alt codes for everything if I can help it. But also, expression. We need K17, K18, and K2. These parts are a lot of fun. These will be visible as the sort of elbow joint. We'll do them all up in probably 2 shades of like a gunmetal. I'll have to hand paint the details on there. Nice little section in the middle there. There's so many little details like this tucked into a lot of the inner frame where it is visible. And I actually started hand painting D&D minis so that I could hand paint my joints or other things like this, other small details that weren't suitable for airbrushing, on my Gundam stuff. And now I've made some pretty cool D&D minis, so... Hey. Yes, correct, Prism. So, I don't normally have the time to run stuff like that. I know that I'm capable of doing it, I don't have the time. So when I believe Ava brought it up, or Mina did, because I had expressed an interest, I was more than pumped too. It was a lot of fun, you know, a couple wipes, just because I didn't have any of it memorized. But I want to do more, as time is permitting. We're going to do some double cuts on these parts, because these nubs from the runner attach at points in the middle of the plastic. So if I goof it up on the cut, it's going to create divots that I cannot easily rectify. We're going to take it nice and slow. E12, 15, 14, and 17. Okay. Make sure we don't overcut. That looks like a joint for something. It's going to rest in another part. Oh, no, for sure. I love how cleanly everything went today. Not necessarily going in blind, but going in with, you know, only having a video to bring me up to speed. Having those easy callouts from Ava, and then I believe also Potato in the party was assisting as well. That made it really, really smooth and painless, and I'm very appreciative. Yeah, I know that you hadn't done it, Seth. I wasn't sure what your experience was in... I don't want to run over that with my chair and it's behind the wheel. I'm trying to pick it up right now. I don't know what extremes or savage content you've done before. So I didn't want to lump you in there with me. Accidentally dooming us when I missed that Mountain Fire Tank Buster was pretty funny. It's one of those tee-hee, oops, what can you do? That sounds miserable, honestly. SOS synced? But maybe it's fun. SOS is pretty cool. I also need 17 there. And that should be the last one off of this for now. I need to order a couple more replacement tools still that I haven't picked up any spares of recently. But I'm loath to because they're expensive. And getting this whole stream set up wasn't the cheapest thing in the world. However, I love it. This is so much fun to do. Just sit, share thoughts, build. I don't remember when I last ran Eden's Verse. I think the normal raids are a lot of fun. The Alliance raids aren't. Mean's not gonna yell at you for anything. I was just saying, we gotta figure out what we can run next. You know, what's suitable. I did finally finish Eden last month, that's right. And then I think I skipped the cutscene because I got so bored. We could do EX2, or we could jump higher, depending on how you guys feel like we could handle it. Because I think... I feel like I could confidently go into something more difficult, or more current, but it depends on what you need as well. So, yeah, we can learn EX2 and probably knock it out same day like we did before. That's pretty hardcore. Okay. All right. Let's start with our K parts. Ooh, I did miss a part. I need I14. When you say EX2 is different, Seth, what do you mean? Oh. Do I want to do EX2 then? Or do I want to do something more fun and also more useful? Ah, damn. Okay, so we do have a reason to run EX2. Look, man, I enjoy winning. I don't know if I necessarily want to run something early on that is going to be a huge pain in the ass. Okay, enough people are saying EX2. Let's do it. I'm certainly more in the I love glams than I do sit in the I love mounts category. But more than either of those things, I love getting good. So trying new content that's difficult will help me, you know, push my boundaries a little more and work on remembering rotations and what have you. It's actually kind of funny. While we were running today, I was thinking it's fun to push content that many people won't. It feels like there's a lot less skill expression available because everything is so demanded at certain times, right? I have to save reprisal for, you know, this raid wide followed by that one. Long arm isn't going to do anything for me. Not long arm. I always mix up, what is it called? Arm of Reprisal with Long Arm of the Law from WoW. Paladin Stun. Arm's Length. There we go. Damn, I'm just slamming skill names together. Yeah, Arm's Length. You know, there's nothing I can do with it in Savagery EX content that I can see so far, but I just don't know when the ad phases are yet, right? It's tough to, you know, really pop off because if everybody's doing their job, there's nothing I need to do. Whereas people will wipe casual content, right? We'll be running, you know, Uayata, and everybody will die, and it's like, oh cool, okay, I get to do the paladin thing and solo the boss fight, and that's fun. That doesn't really happen in a Savage or an Extreme. I mean, sure, that was just for the knockback resistance, right? But, like, there's no styling with my mitigations. It's just very cleanly rotating them. There's no improv. No, I know. Yes, Ava, oh my god. There are some fights where, like... you're like, hey, look, I need you not to die. Because in that last fight, right? It's like, guys, I do need heals at some point, and this is non-stop, and if you keep jumping into the holes or eating the Savage Claw, we're all doomed. Omega Protocol Prog. I'll be honest, what I really want... Mine, you poor creature. Up. Kitana's Rebel, really? That's a disaster. That's also why I tank. I can do it all on my own, given enough time. My goal is to get good enough at Savage and EX content to start progging an ultimate, because I really want the Alexander ultimate weapons on my Paladin. Like, I really want them. And then I want a couple from, I think, Top and Uwu as well. I'll have to go through the list. That's a pretty clean slope right there. Let's get this right. Gotta be super gentle in this part because it's got two conjoining slopes and one of them is a panel line section as well. So if I'm too aggressive while sanding it, I will dent in that panel line and lose my slopes. Nice and gentle. Hot damn. I will be honest. You say you can sim the hell out of Alexander. I actually don't know what you mean. I have very little experience with developing out a game plan. And why is top ascent against God, Seth? Ah, interesting. I mean, I'll do that if it's absolutely necessary, but I don't think I would enjoy it nearly as much as just running the content. Ooh, that's also another terrible section of sand. You gotta be super careful. Low surface area. Right up against another panel line. I'll catch up on chat in a second. But, these parts are always the most nerve-wracking because there's a lot of detail I don't want to lose here. Otherwise I have to recreate it, and that is 5 times as much work. Nice, nailed it. Ugh. That's fair, Ava. Okay, so I'll try to lock that mindset away early on then and just get used to simming. Another one of those same exact sections, a panel line and a corner at the same time, with another slope on the far side. God, I am good. I am good. I think for tomorrow's stream I'll pull out a couple models that I finished that I'm particularly proud of and show off some of the work I've done on those. Even if they're not perfect or my most recent projects. It's fun to look back on what I've made. I mean, heck yeah. The downside, I think, with trying to put together a prog goot, especially for something like an ultimate, is we're not all going to be available at the same times regularly, right? So if we can practice simming in our free time and then meet up and run the actual content, that's definitely the way to go. I can certainly understand the appeal behind Sims to a very light degree. What a problematic angle. Sometimes I like to take a sanding file and just really harsh out an angle, give it something super aggressive for a more, you know, a more threatening or sharp silhouette. But on something like this, I want to keep it as close to the original as I can, and it's not making it easier for me. Gotcha, Prism. Yeah, I mean, I would like to do the same thing too, right, Seth? I would happily build a whole schedule around it, but I work 40 hours a week, midnights, weekends, rotating schedules, and what have you. And as much as I want something, that doesn't mean I have the time or the freedom to do it, so. I have to prioritize putting food in my stomach and a roof over my head and models in my model room. They don't screw me. I'm very fairly compensated, you know? Like, I love my job and the people I work with. And sometimes I end up with inconvenient schedules, but they pay me enough not to complain about it, honestly. And I have relatively reliable job security, so what can you do? I got those two. We got this last one. We're gonna hit this last mark right here, slap some parts together if I can, and we'll probably call it here in a sec. I get you. I get you. My love for people only goes so far, but my love for things, like these, boundless. Yeah, I could never ever spare that kind of time, unfortunately, Prism. And if that's what it comes to, then I'll accept at some point that, you know, ultimates are just out of reach for me, and it is what it is. But I'd like that not to be the case forever. Yeah, boss, I gotta take a month of leave. I have to prog uwu. It's like, these fucking furries, man. I don't understand. Alright. Thanks for joining, folks. I appreciate you guys kicking it and chatting it with me. I'm gonna do the same thing tomorrow and the day after, 3 times a week. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central. So now to 2 hours before now. And most of you are already in Discord service, I know, and if you're just chilling and hanging out, by all means, Discord link should pop up when Nightbot feels like it. Feel free to come and hang out and chat and share things you're working on or ask questions. And have a great night. Yeah, right, Seth? Like, what a good way to have, you know, go through a day. Now I'm gonna go get some Texas Roadhouse and watch the Goofy movie because that seems like an absolutely baller way to end my day. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.